Let me, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first appreciate and thank the organizers of this lunch, public budgeting app launching. Having been part of the process since last year, we are really delighted to be part of the launching at the moment. First, also, let me also appreciate the decades of support we have enjoyed from various deputy governance reform programs, from SLGP, SPAC, PAL Act, all of which are majorly focusing on public expenditure and financial management reforms across government MDS, including citizens and the legislature, with overarching purpose of achieving an effective, efficient, and responsive service delivery for the overall well-being of the citizenry. No doubt, significant progress has been achieved over the years, from planning and budgeting with our compass, 2 years of strategic planning and comprehensive policy-based realistic budgeting, including deeper citizen involvement in the budgeting and planning processes, a more effective legislative scrutiny of documents associated with preparation of the annual budget. The public budgeting app is another major stride in the PMO reform process in Nigeria, which builds on several years of successful PMO reforms in Jigawa State and many other states. Our initial thoughts when we were invited by PAL Act in Jigawa State to a meeting about public budgeting software was that we are going to be seeing another presentation on new budget software. That was on Wednesday, if I recall precisely, of 31st July 2019. But however, the meeting turned out to be a dissemination and getting user feedback on a new innovative public budgeting app. For over 5 hours on that day, we went through the theory and practice of the new app with practical hands-on, testing how it works on our laptops and smartphones. Essentially, even at that time, we understood the public budgeting app to have functionalities around 3 key areas, namely digitized budget calendar, a reminder and alert system for events and activities in the calendar, and also serving as a repository of documents on public expenditure and financial management, such as MTEP and MTSS documents, the appropriation laws, detailed approved budgets, budget performance reforms, and other similar documents. By the end of that day, we are all convinced that this is yet another great milestone about to be achieved in the government reforms initiatives. We saw the app as a practical tool that will expedite further improvement in the budgeting process in terms of timeliness and engagement of stakeholders. That is in addition to serving as a library of planning and budgeting resources. After going through the theory and practice, we are given the opportunity to ask questions on what are our apprehensions or observations on the software. So some of these include the following. We observe that it's important to make the application more simpler and more user-friendly, especially for below-average users interested in contributing to the planning and budgeting process in the states or at the very level. This is especially because of the fact that we understood that the application would be even used at the local government level, and reforms at that level are not as wider or as deeper as it is in the state and federal level. So we see it's important that to make it simpler so that even at that level, people can find it more user-friendly and be able to contribute to the process. Secondly, we also notice that somebody has to be responsible going forward, responsible for supporting the, in terms of maintenance and management of the app. At the moment, the app was being supported by a PAL Act. But after it must have been launched, somebody will have to be responsible for its maintenance, including any other costs associated with that. Even though we understand that technically the development of the app will be there, will always be there, notwithstanding, somebody has to be responsible for that, because we see that as an app which will be here for, which is here to stay for years and years and years to come. So technically, we see potentially, we see that maybe the NG app will take central control, while each state will take responsibility for its own page in terms of continuous update and data upload. Also, we think it's important also to make the application secure, because so that it's not easy to tamper with. This was assured through the fact that the platforms has a dual, the app has a dual platforms. The admin portal, which only allow people who are administering the portal to be able to make changes to both the front and back end of the software, and then the public portal, which allow users only to view and download documents, not make any addition or subtraction to the front or back ends of the software. That ensures security for the system. So on the whole, Jigawa State, we are glad to be part of this process of developing the public budgeting app as supported by PAL. The initial practical sessions of testing the app not only provides us with greater understanding of its functionalities, but most importantly, how it will contribute to achieving the various objectives of our expenditure and financial management in the county, especially in terms of budget discipline, strategic prioritization, resource allocation, delivering value for money, ensuring that budget and planning processes are responsive to the and aspirations of the citizens. For instance, the application sends timely alerts to plan and budget tax officers to execute one action or the other in line with the budget calendar. So this ensures timeliness in the budget process from the MTSS process out to the time when the budget will be approved by the executive and the state legislature. And timely approval and implementation of the timely approval of the budget gives maximum time within which the budget will be implemented and allows for greater performance in terms of implementation. Secondly, the app, because it allows citizens to monitor the planning and budgeting process and allows them to make inputs during the budget process. So this ensures that the process is inclusive and whatever is being planned and implemented is responsive to the aspiration of the people at whatever level, whether at the state level, local government level, or the federal level. Also, because the public officials are conscious that there's an application which is continuously being tracked by the public, especially the civil society. So people, as public officials, will be very alive and alert to discharge the responsibilities as on one due, and that ensures that the budget will continue to be there will continue to be transparency and accountability, allowing all public expenditure and financial management practices in the state. Finally, as promised during the trial, we believe this final product, which is about to be launched, will achieve its intended purposes. That is serving as a repository of resources for planning and budgeting across all tiers of government, and principally also serving as a platform for live interactive with stakeholders at whatever level to initiate actions and track progress at all levels from the budget cycle, from policy review, strategic planning, budget preparation, to budget execution, accounting, and monitoring and auditing. This will greatly promote peer review and peer learning and sharing of good practices across governments, as governments and citizens have easy access to the process and documentation of every other government in the county. So this will allow other state government or our government to borrow from other states and improve their own system and processes. Finally, I believe going forward, as with any other computer application, the application will be continuously refined and updated in line with emerging issues and user demands. Even at the moment, we understand that it's important, it's important that citizens are viewing the budget, the budget process. It's important to give them a chance to make inputs, online inputs, so that budget and planning officers can timely receive input from citizens and accordingly inform and enrich the budget process. So the point is that going forward, we have to continuously refine the application so that it responds to issues and demand by users. So on this note, once again, we appreciate the budget plan and budgeting app. We also appreciate PAL Act for for continuously supporting this kind of initiatives. This is another great tool and opportunity to continuously improve the planning and budgeting process in the county. Thank you very much.